Welcome back, everyone. Let's have a look at the results of our flower pigmentation experiment. As you might remember, we put in chrysanthemums and carnations into 3 different types of pigments, in purple, in blue and red, to see if flowers drink. Well, let's look at the results. I think out of all 3 of them, the blue one has worked the best. You can see this chrysanthemum has totally turned blue, really beautifully. And also the carnation has turned quite blue as well. Not as blue as the chrysanthemum, but still, it's got quite a lot of blue pigment there in its petals. So this shows that the blue pigmentation has been drawn up the flower's stem all the way up to the petals. And the pigmentation has then turned those white petals this beautiful blue colour. You might remember when we set up this experiment, I mentioned that some pigments work better than others. The results for the purple pigment experiment are quite different. I'm sure you remember, purple colouring is a mixture of red and blue, so both of those colours are in this solution. But really only the blue has been absorbed. There's virtually no red whatsoever on this chrysanthemum, and only a tiny weeny little bit of red pigmentation on those carnation flower petals as well. If you look very carefully, you can see the blue and those little red flecks. So whatever red pigment is used in this purple food colouring, it's not absorbed very well by these flowers. Nevertheless, the fact that there's this blue pigmentation that's been drawn out from that purple food colouring does also show that the flowers have absorbed the liquid in the solution and turned those petals this beautiful colour. The red one over here has also worked, but again, interestingly, the red pigmentation hasn't really been absorbed that much. The chrysanthemum has absorbed a little bit of that red pigmentation, especially visible in these older petals at the bottom of the flower. And the carnation has also absorbed some. But interestingly, this red pigmentation also isn't as easily absorbed by the flowers as this blue pigmentation here in the middle. So our experiment shows that living plants continually draw up liquid in the form of sap that passes up through those veins called xylem and phloem within the tissues of those living plants. Look, if we compare our original white flowers with these ones that we've dyed, it's very clear to see that the liquid in our pigment solutions has been drawn up to the petals and shows how these plants sustain their petals when the flowers are open. Now let's have a look at your results and the photos that you sent in to see if you found the same results as my experiment. Well done for taking part.